Hey everyone, we got season 74 starting today, and let's see how far we can go with our rank 1 account. We're running this also with no instant training, so we'll maybe experience all the ups and downs, but at least to start off, upgrading landing crafts and Zukas, using them as a main troop, and let's see how it went. And even on bases like this, as soon as you drop them, get the serums going, because when you drop serum, as the Zooks are going out of the boats, no matter what, it's going to speed up every single one. So maybe a trick early on, just use serum right away, and you don't have to aim too much on getting all the Zooks covered. We did choose Zukas instead of Rainmakers just to start, because early on, especially starting from rank 1, there isn't too much splash. People don't really upgrade shock launchers either way, so you can just drop all your Zooks and use a bunch of serums. As we went a bit further, we got shock mines facing other people with shock mines, which a bunch of them could be a bit annoying too because they do a little amount of damage. So just still dropping Zooks and hoping that not too many hit the shock mines, and maybe a few of them and others can kinda catch up. Sort of the idea when designing the season was we want stuff to stall troops at the start, so shock mines, shock launchers, but maybe not too much damage. So too far into 2ER, if you do face bases with max shock launchers that are doing damage, maybe bring in some more mechs. And another thing you can do is, even though we don't have Rainmakers to really shoot stuff from the right ramp, sometimes you can use mechs on the right just for distraction. Because one mech on the right, if a shock launcher looks at it, you can have it not look at Zukas for maybe 1 or 2 shots. And the best part is usually it doesn't die. Mechs have a decent amount of health where the Zooks can just carry on. But still, on some of these 2ERs, upgraded shock launchers are a bit annoying, so trying to hope that mechs can shock it enough and Zooks don't all die. The ones we started facing too many of these guys, that's when we started to go to 3ER, because then you got the first ability that can really help us out. So kind of right there, as soon as we hit rank 10, we got 3ER and that magic ability Crystal Shield. Because shock launchers and even mortars that we're going to get pretty soon, they fire pretty slow, so you can use Crystal Shield to protect Zooks from 1 or 2 shots, and should help out not losing too many of them anymore. Our first few matches, we're kind of trying just some combo of using mechs and Zooks. We do have that landing craft boost now, so 2 mechs per boat. Maybe 3 mechs is kind of overkill, but we're also running out of troops, so don't want to use too many Zooks. But sort of like dropping them from one side, again using serum right away, get most of the Zooks covered. You want to do it on the ramp, there's maybe not a bug, but there's a place you can do serum that kind of helps out. You don't want to throw the serum right on your troops, it's more like a bit above them and towards the left side on those left ramps. Don't really know why that is, but where you see your troops on the ramp isn't actually where they are in the game. That's why anytime you throw abilities, just throw it like a few tiles above your troops, and a better chance to get most of them covered. But just going on the right side, kind of alternating between serum and shield, and hoping that most Zooks stay alive. And we sort of did that all the way until rank 11, also now getting those 4 starting chests. We save them in iron, so if you open them in like wood or stone, a few less keys per chest, but in iron you get a fair amount, 18 for every chest, so it gets us a lot of keys to spend. And with that spending spree, we can go ahead and pick up GBE, cannons, and technically we want to go to 4ER, but because of that troop boost, gotta open up Rainmakers. Though for this no instant training account, kinda helps out, because we're actually using Rainmakers a fair amount and their times aren't far off from using Zooks. Like at this point, we already don't have too many Zookas, use maybe reserves a few times getting Zookas up there, so just bringing a lot more Rainmakers. And hopefully that's okay if you don't have instant training, just finding other troops to still get a decent time. At least for these ranks, we're only trying to get to maybe 12 or 13, kinda good for a first push. So like even here, taking a lot of Rainmakers on the left side, still a couple of Zooks because we thought it maybe helps out on the far right ER. And here our serum wasn't the best, it got a few Rainmakers but not all of them, so we should have threw it maybe a little bit more towards the left side. But you see those cracked Rainmakers just super fast. Even though Serum gets him 50% less damage, that 300% speed bonus on both movement speed, reload speed, it really adds up. So just keep on doing serums on those Rainmakers and they do a lot of splash too. And of course we got the Zooks on the right side. Not too much GB, but we want to do shields, keeping as many alive as we can. And all that range on the Rainmakers, so getting those shock launchers from like 50 tiles away, then onto the engines. And even though it may not be the fastest time, I think we got like around 250. For these ranks, it's sometimes good enough. And as we played a bit more, you can see we're running pretty low in reserves, so kind of finding ways to move around it. Like in this case, one vote only 13 Zooks, but trying to make it work. It's a lot more Rainmaker hits that we're hoping is going to be fast enough. And even bases like this, which was a bit popular when we pushed, trying to just use Rainmakers on the left side to kind of speed up that part. Because again, when you use Speed Serum, the movement speed is super fast. Rainmakers move as fast as Rocket Choppas or Seekers. And Serum lasts a full 10 seconds, so you want to try to use it maybe at the last moment, next 10 seconds. We were super lucky and almost all the Rainmakers hit that shock mine. But even on that, only hits for maybe 8 seconds and then they keep on moving. And with our level 3 flare, we can delay 2 more Rainmakers on the right side to kind of do a split hit. At this point, just managing our GB, thinking which side to Serum. I think maybe we went for the bottom side because the top has so much range, and when Rainmakers hit like that shock launcher next to the engine, it does a lot of damage onto the ER itself. So doing Serum on the bottom side, and just looking at all that range, still getting around a 3-minute time. And this one was our last fight, so you can see if we won it. Doing a lot more Rainmaker hits, and let me know what you think on this kind of meta. Both Zuka Rush with Serum or Rainmakers. But we got that win, and just enough for rank 13. So from a rank 1 push, I think it was pretty solid, maybe took around a couple hours. And we stopped here also because not only we ran out of troops, but the next tech is just moving to 4 ER. And would rather just wait another time chest 8 hours to get that unlock. And after 4 ER, we're gonna pick up some troop damage and maybe make our way to critter cannons. So that's our next steps, saving to 4 ER, and we'll see how it goes. But let me know what you think about the start of the season, and that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.